After years of being just a fledgling Pokemon trainer, we finally made it to space. All of those gym battles finally earned us enough money to pay off engineering school, and now we're one of the first Pokemon trainers to ever make it to the boundaries of our galaxy. This is the story of how everything went wrong. There aren't many other trainers aboard the station, and most of the others, like Dr. Wriggle, the head scientist, like to keep to themselves. But I've seen how they treat their workers, and I'd rather not engage. Since there's no one to battle, that means we have to constantly walk our Duosian, Kieran, to make sure they don't get too antsy. But just because we're not battling anyone doesn't mean we're not socializing. We're friendly with every member of our own team. There's Kath, the youngest member of the crew. She has a unique way of speaking, but she's also got one hell of a green thumb and is one of the best botanists I've ever known, which isn't that many. Dr. Cooper is a little bit of a kiss-up, but he's also one of the most loyal men you'll ever meet. He'll take a bullet for you even if you just lend him a 5. Blueford is a beast of a human, by far the physically strongest man I've ever met. There's a rumor that he's even beat a Machoke in arm wrestling, but I don't buy it. And of course, our captain. Captain Caldwell, the greatest astronaut I've ever known. Today was supposed to be just a regular day like any other. Make sure the ship keeps running and enjoy the beauty of the beyond. But in the middle of our daily meeting, a mysterious object collided with the north sector of the space station. Alarms blaring, people panicking. We rushed to our positions to ensure that this wouldn't mean a catastrophe. And in the chaos, I was thrown to the ground and knocked unconscious. And while unconscious, I had a dream of Skylore, a recent MMORPG game with an open world, a friendly community, and a unique leveling up system. Skylore has 6 playable races, a diversity of looks to choose from, as well as 5 different classes: Guardian, Shadow, Hunter, Mage, and Alchemist. Between all those combinations and a unique level up system based on improving equipment, you really do get to choose your own way to play. Skylore has a flexible character development system, more than 150 talents for each class, skill customization for different playstyles, and new areas such as the Adamantine Caves, where you can battle against both monsters and players. There are even guilds with challenging guild raids and guild wars on any location. Skylore is a friendly and cozy community willing to help newcomers, so be sure to sign up today so you don't miss any events. They just recently had a Valentine's Day event, so don't miss out. Scan the QR code you see on screen or click on the link in the description to join Skylore today. We woke up to Kath shaking us. She quickly filled us in on what happened. Dr. Cooper and the captain went to go fix the communication systems, and Blueford went to go seek out other survivors. But we had lost contact with him for unknown reasons. Blueford's a smart guy, and he knows how to take care of himself. But right now, I had the most important job. I had to go down and fix the engines. If they were left off for too long, we'd float off course and never return home. I ran as fast as I could to the engine room, but something was wrong. Not only were there wild Pokemon about, they must have broken out of storage, but there were no other people. There have to be 100 astronauts on this station. Why is it deserted? Not all of them could have been where the asteroid struck. Where were they? Were they taken? Were they safe? But that wasn't the only mystery. Because when we finally reached the engine room, we were attacked by a pitch black Voltorb. What was this? This wasn't a shiny Pokemon, and we didn't even have any in storage. I don't even think we have regular Voltorbs in storage. And why does it know Dark-type moves? We decided to catch it and study it for later. So for now, say hello to Max. But we don't have time to worry about that now. For now, we fix the engines. Somehow, we managed to fix it all by ourselves, and when we returned to the control room to meet up with the captain and Dr. Cooper, they had succeeded on getting the comm system back online. But there was a bigger issue. We still couldn't get in touch with Blueford, but now Kath had gone missing as well in the botany lab. Kath was just a young girl, but what in the world could have taken down Blueford? I've seen this man flip a Snorlax over. He's not a trainer though, so maybe he had been attacked by one of those black Pokemon we saw earlier. I wanted to show the captain the black Voltorb we had caught earlier, but I couldn't get my mind off of Kath. I just had a terrible feeling that something had gone terribly wrong. We entered the botany lab, and it was full of wild Pokemon that had infested it due to all the berries being grown. Kath may be young, but hot damn if the girl couldn't grow a garden in space of all places. I mean, look at the— holy crap, what is that? Another black Pokemon. It seems like whatever's affecting Voltorbs isn't limited just to them. Of course we were catching this psychic-type Spinarak, who we named Oreo, but there was a lot on our mind. What was this phenomenon? Were these Pokemon a brand new species from space? Were they being mind controlled? Was it some sort of copyrighted black symbiote that was owned by Sony even though it was part of the Marvel universe? Either way, that wasn't important right now. We had finally met another human being, and while we approached to make sure they were safe, we were attacked. The battle wasn't too difficult. I mean, we used to be an ace trainer and everything, and our new powerful black Pokemon helped a lot as well. But before we could ask any more questions, they fled. Now that I look at it, there seem to be tons of members of the science division here. But not only did they deny knowing Kath, they were just as hostile as the black Pokemon, with each one attacking us. We had to fight our way through this gaggle of nerds, but at least they gave us enough XP to evolve our black Spinarak into an Ariados. And a realization slowly dawned on me. Unlike these black Pokemon, which seemed to not be in full control of themselves, these scientists were fully cognizant. They were calling us scum and attacking our intelligence. And just while we were pondering why this gaggle of geeks would betray us, we ran into Dr. Mesa, one of the head scientists aboard this ship, forcing Kat to open her safe to retrieve valuable biosamples. And he told us everything. He revealed that all of these black Pokemon were part of their plan. They had been genetically altered to attack people, to be hostile, to be machines of war, kill everyone on board this space station. They had added some sort of DNA they had collected in space to change their typing, to corrupt them. But the scariest part of it is that this was just step one of their plan. We engaged in battle. We had to stop this before it goes any further. Who knows what disaster they might cause? This battle was tough. I didn't know that there were trainers this powerful aboard the station. They knew these altered Pokemon better than we did. But Kieran, our Duosion, our trusted partner, carried us to the end. No altered DNA can triumph an actual bond with a Pokemon. And for the first time in years, our bond was rewarded. Kieran evolved into a Reniculus. I guess Max the Black Voltor also evolved, but you haven't really done anything yet. Don't feel bad, dude. I'm sure you'll contribute to something big, maybe? While we were consoling Max, though, Mesa took the chance to escape with some chilling words. Our mutations have already spread throughout the ship. For now, we need to get Kath to safety. We returned to the captain to ask her what she knew about Mesa. He had always been a quiet man, and she suspected he was hiding something, but not to this degree. She had also found out where they were keeping the staff hostage, in the North Sector, and that's probably where poor Blueford was stopped. Captain, come on, I need help. Dr. Cooper began crying for help over the radio. The scientists had begun invading the cold storage, and he had been attacked. Okay, Captain, I need to be honest, this is the third person who is not a Pokemon trainer you've let wander around the ship. Maybe she's not as great of a captain as I thought. We rushed to go and rescue one of our best friends at the station, but thoughts just kept going through our head. Could we trust Cooper? I mean, he was a scientist, sure, but maybe this was all a trap and he was in on this conspiracy. No, we had to expel any doubts from our mind. Whatever was going on here, it was done by evil people. I mean, who uses a Swoobat? We fought our way through the scientists and even rescued another alter Pokemon, this time a Celio we named Flubber, immediately becoming a valued member of the team, unlike Max. But in the end, Cooper was nowhere to be found. Instead, another scientist, Dr. Scythe. Look at this Cyclops ripoff. You know, he's always been a bit of a creep, so it doesn't surprise me he turned code as well. He was attempting to release every Pokemon we were keeping in storage, and if all those Pokemon ran rampant in this sensitive space station, we would be pretty much toast. I mean, look at how much we were struggling with just a couple. We had no choice. We had to use force. His mutant Walrein was a monster. None of my regular Pokemon could even touch it, with the exception, of course, Kieran. But even that wasn't enough. But finally, stepping up to the plate, Max the Voltor was able to come in clutch with a critical hit. There we go, friendo! Way to electrocute a tortured and abused animal with no control over themselves. Woohoo! We had won another small victory, but after conferring with the captain, we figured enough was enough. This had to come to an end. It was time for an all-out attack to rescue all of the staff in the North Sector. We went wild, defeating and restraining all these cultish scientists and rescuing others. We even managed to free Blueford and Cooper, who promised to help where they could. But we had to hurry. These mutations were beginning to spread. We had even run into a jet black Charmeleon that we just had to catch. Whoops. We had run into a jet black Charmeleon we had to catch. There we go. It was time to end this. The battle would be tough, but with all 5 of us together, it was time to fight their leader. Wait. What do you mean 5 of us together? I've been doing everything. You guys have just been getting captured. It's time to fight their leader, Dr. Wriggle. I mean, duh. He's literally the head scientist, and he's the only one I bothered to mention at the beginning of this story. It was kind of obvious. He had been planning this since the construction of this vessel, slowly but surely hiring members of his organization to infiltrate the staff, covertly conducting experiments, all to secretly draw in the power of one Pokemon, all for the glory of Team Rocket. You know, in hindsight, I don't know how I didn't see this twist coming. An evil space-based organization? I had a 50% chance of guessing the right evil team. And either way, we have to battle Dr. Wriggle's team of mutant Pokemon, each one more powerful than... Wait, isn't this just Mega Charizard X? This battle was tough, but in the end, we still pulled through. But hey, at least after defeating him, our Charmeleon Chocolat evolved as well. But our victory was short-lived. The ship was already off course and had brought in the asteroid containing the Pokemon Dr. Wriggle was searching for. And with that, he put on a spacesuit and fled into the reaches of space. We had to follow. Now we haven't been an astronaut for long. But even then, we know why we came up here. Every day we fought as a trainer was to reach our dream, to admire the beauty and mystery of the vast void we call space. And as we suited up and prepared for our final fight, this was the closest we would ever get to it. Just a couple layers of cloth and plexiglass away from the void. And as the doors open up, we had truly reached it, the vast darkness of space. Unfortunately, we have no time to admire it. Wriggle's precious asteroid had arrived, containing a pitch-black Deoxys, an alien hybrid with enough energy to power the world twofold. They had been trying to replicate its energy in other Pokemon, but all of them were failures. But over time, they figured they don't need to replicate it. By copying its genetic code, they could attract it. And now, by harnessing Deoxys' power, Wriggle had become... Oh crap! Wait, no, it's straight up hostile! We have to stop this thing and fight it right here before it actually starts taking casualties. We sent out our Pokemon, and if you could do me a favor and not think about how they're surviving the vacuum of space, that would mean a lot. I mean, how tough could this Deoxys be? Oh, that tough. Deoxys was a menace, nearly wiping out our whole party, including Kieran. But we had a rising star. Max the Menace, the deadweight turned hero, was here to carry us through the final battle. We had the option to try and capture it, and sure, we could probably do a lot of good with it. Think of all the use we could have for a near limitless energy source, but that would make us no better than Team Rocket. So, once the creature had calmed down, we let it be free to live out its own life in the void. I kind of wish we could follow it. But I've got bigger fish to fry, and that's a one Mr. Dr. Wriggle, who is still alive and gonna pay for his crimes. As much as I love space, I'm gonna enjoy seeing this scum rot in hell. Or, I mean, I guess a jail cell too. Rescue was coming for 7 days, but there were still a lot of Team Rocket members left on Earth, and this has kind of reignited my passion for battling, so I think I know how I'm gonna spend the next couple of years.